You're watching Rehab 2019.
Hey guys, I'm down in the lobby where there is so much activity going on for families, so many booths, and one of them, Miss Angie Lane has, is Hearts for Hospice. Tell us about this program.
Well, Hearts Remembered is our annual fundraiser, and we go through the month of February. We kick off at telethon because telethon's a big deal here for the rehab. And so we put our display at the Mall of Abilene.
And it's got just a few names on it, and it gets filled up.
Yes, we fill both sides. That's always our goal, and we meet it. Generally, the community comes out and supports our program. And what folks do is they come out, they buy a heart for someone that they, one of their loved ones that may have passed before them, or someone they just want to give honor to now. And we put those hearts up, and the hearts continue all through the month. It's a great way to help us raise money for Hospice of the Big Country. And as we always say, we get to take care of all of our patients, whether they can pay or not.
And just when you turn around, there's just another program that West Texas Rehab provides for our big country.
Absolutely. There's no better place to be than to be the director of this department and get a phone call that says we have no way to pay, and we can say it doesn't matter here.
That's amazing. Okay, I'm going to buy a heart.
Thank you.
My grandmother, Lois Horton, grew up in the big country, so let's buy a heart right now. Okay. Scout. Okay, it actually costs money. This is my son, Scout. You got give me $10. Okay, this is for Granny. Thank you. There's $10.
And you just put her name there.
Lois Horton. Okay. And so we're gonna tape this to the board.
And you can pick.
Here, Miss Angie.
You don't want to pick?
You pick.
Okay. I think that she should go right on top.
I love it. All right.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And all come out and support everything going on at the telethon and Hearts Remembered and the whole entire West Texas Rehab. Thank you to our community for always doing such a good job for helping us out.
Oh, she did. That's all we need to say. Let's go to Braden, Steve. They've got more about our hospice program.
Thanks, guys. I'm back here with President and CEO Steve Martin, and he's here now to talk a little bit more about some of the different services and departments that West Texas Rehabilitation Center offers. I don't know if you're aware, but they did open up a hospice program in the year 2000. Is that correct?
Yes, Hospice of the Big Country has been with us since 2000. And, back when we were approached about that, we said, well, would it really fit with our mission? And, we treat kids in the pediatric department in the earliest stages of the neonatal intensive care unit after they're born. And it really does fit with what we do, because now many of our, whether it's a nurse, a pastor, a volunteer, social worker, a lot of times they're with those patients in their last days of life.
What I love about the hospice program is that their motto is, it's about life. And I think that's so key, because a lot of people have a fear of calling for hospice or utilizing those resources, right, because it's surrounded by what they think is a cloud of death, but that's really not what it's about.
They get on hospice and they relieve that pain. They start, developing those patient-family relationships and the staff, and people outlive their terminal diagnosis. So it really is all about life, and it's about, supporting the family after the loved one has passed on. It's about being with that family, not only through that process, but then, for essentially 13 months after that process.
Which brings us to another point of conversation, which is really important. Very recently, we opened a whole nother center for hospice in San Angelo. So it's expanding, it's growing, and apparently the need for it is greater than ever.
Absolutely. Hospice was the only service we really didn't replicate between Abilene and San Angelo, and we had the opportunity in March to bring Hospice of San Angelo, which is was established in 1985, and it's one of the 13th hospice in Texas, and so they have a great reputation in the community, and to bring them onto the center enabled us to continue that hospice mission in the Concho Valley. We actually went from 12 counties served in the Big Country to an additional 15 counties, so now we actually cover 27 counties in the Concho Valley and the Big Country.
One family in particular that I know the rehab is very familiar with.
Absolutely, the Barnhart family, and Barney and Lolita Barnhart and their daughters started our rehab camp for kids 41 years ago. And she was the matriarch of that family, and it's just a blessing that Hospice of San Angelo came on when they did in March, because they were able to serve her in her last days of life, and it was just, she's an incredible lady who will be missed.
Absolutely. And the three sisters got to sit down and share with me their experience with Hospice of San Angelo. Take a look at their story.
She was very independent. She was full of grace. She was a woman before her time, being an architect, born in 1920. All an entrepreneur all over San Angelo, just gave of herself and her architectural skills to any charity that needed her help. Mother and Daddy started a camp for the rehab kids 35 years ago, and it just grew from that, so we were there helping. We chose Hospice of San Angelo because of their connection with West Texas Rehab. We trust and love West Texas Rehab, so we just thought it was a wonderful partnership that happened with that. You know, you never want your mom to pass away or to realize that that's going to happen.
And Laura called and said, "Linda, you need to cut your trip short." And I said, "Why? What's going on?" And she said, "Well, we called Hospice in last night." I said, "Do what?" Yeah, it was a shock to me.
Between that and increased medical issues, my sister said finally, "I'm tired of playing doctor."
We give them ways to not only cope with the death, but also to give them education on the disease process. A lot of times when they're, especially if they're in the homes, we educate the families on how to give medications, when to give medications, what the medications are for.
Trust that it is not signing her life away. You know, that it is actually giving her life at the last moments of her life, the last months or weeks or days even, just even if it happens in the next few days.
They were there for every aspect. When I needed a question answered, Jackie was there immediately. You know, the last day we didn't want to administer the morphine. Jackie came and told us and walked us through it. Just making those decisions was hard. Everybody was there. They came in and they brought the equipment very quickly when we needed it, and it was gone very quickly. So it wasn't a lingering, once Mother had passed, Hospice came in and moved the furniture back to the way it was and just got things back to a normal keel for us.
Families just really appreciate that, and they don't realize that until they actually let us come out and visit with them. We're on call 24 hours a day. They call our office. We're there 911.
I actually think Hospice really helped clarify death for me. I knew it was coming. She was 97 and a half. They can't live forever. And when Hospice started talking, the chaplain especially started talking to us. She talked to Mother and said, "Your mom is in a great place. No worries."
It was just very tender. And if death could be something beautiful, Mother and God and Hospice made it that way for us.